First of all, I'd like to thank you for your interest in the McLeod County 4-H program. Excited to share with you through this quick video just a little bit about the opportunities that our 4-H program has in store for you, as well as highlight some of the important dates that are important to know. To start with, we're going to review a yearly calendar of important dates that do not change from year to year so that you're fully aware of them. Our 4-H year technically runs October 1st through September 30th, but the dates we're going to discuss, we're going to talk about in school year order, just because that's kind of typically how people more think about it. In mid-September, annual 4-H online enrollment opens. Each year, as you're part of the 4-H program, you do need to re-enroll your child in 4-H for the year. That can be done either through a paper form or on 4-H online. Then we ask here in McLeod County that by November 15th that you please re-enroll so that we know that you are still interested in a program and you would like to receive program communication moving forward. In mid-November, we also hold our annual award celebration. This is an event that we use to recognize all of the achievements of our 4-Hers and volunteers from the past year. In January, usually it is late January, very early February, we will hold a market beef and dairy steer central ID, and at this time we tag and weigh in all of those animals for our rate of gain contest and for our ID process. Then the ID forms from those animals are due February 15th, either through paper form or entered online on the 4-H online webpage, which we'll talk about later on. In February, we typically start our county fundraiser, and for that, we currently sell fruit as well as meat sticks and cheese. And then in early March, we do our fruit delivery. In the past, it has typically been the first Monday of March, but that is subject to change based on availability of the fruit. That same evening, we also hold our family fun night, which is an opportunity for families to get to have a meal together and rotate through different project activities and games and just learn a little bit more about the projects that they could do potentially for fair and the things that our 4-H program has to offer. That same evening, we also hold our favorite food show, which is an opportunity for kids to choose a menu theme and plan a menu around it. And then they prepare the main dish item for judging that evening, and the judges will talk to them about things related to the nutrition of their meal they plan, as well as why they chose it and other experiences that they have within the Foods Project. May 15th is a very important date in the world of 4-H. It is our animal ID deadline, and that is for identification for all animals except for market beef and dairy steer. So that's all of the breeding beef, that's dairy, goats, horse, dog, poultry, rabbit, llamas, sheep, and swine. And those again can be either completed through an online program on 4-H online, or they can be a paper form. Also that same day is Minnesota 4-H's deadline to re-enroll in 4-H for the year for members who have previously been involved in our program. The next date that is very important specifically to our county 4-H program is July 15th. This is our county fair registration deadline, which means that it is the date that you need to tell us what projects your child potentially might be bringing to fair. And this is done through either an online platform of fair entry or through a paper form. And just know that this doesn't mean these are projects you are actually bringing to fair, but it's everything you could potentially bring to fair. That same date is also when our county fair auction potential bidder forms are due. And this is a form that essentially just tells us that your family went and talked to people who might potentially come and support your child in the county fair auction if they have an animal project that's eligible. Then in late July or early August, we will hold our fashion review, performing arts day, and demonstration day. And fashion review, you make or you buy an outfit, and then your child models that, and a judge will ask them questions about their outfit selection. In performing arts judging, youth will sing, dance, play an instrument, just share with us whatever talents they have. And then they will talk to a judge about their experiences with that. And then demonstrations are where youth choose to plan a public presentation. Could be telling us how to do something. It could be information about something, either about animals or non-animal related things. And then again, just like the other projects we talked about their judge that day, that youth will have a conversation with the judge about their project and their demonstration and how they plan for that. Then the Tuesday for the third week of August is McLeod County's Fair Entry Day. And on this day, all of the static or projects that go in the 4-H building are brought to judging, and our animals are also allowed to come in this day if that works for you. And then that following day and the rest of that week through Sunday is our McLeod County Fair, and that is when all of the remaining judging things happen, as well as all of the other opportunities related to 4-H at that point. Then late August through Labor Day is the Minnesota State Fair, and our 4-Hers that are 6th grade and older have the opportunity to exhibit at State Fair if they place high enough during their judging at County Fair. Then as we get into September, we have 3 showcase events at the state level that happen. The first is in early September over a weekend, and that is the Minnesota 4-H Shooting Sports and Wildlife Invitational, also known as the State Shoot. And this is for youth who have been practicing at shooting sports practices throughout the year, who then go and compete at the state level to just see how they place based on other youth in their same age division. Typically, the next weekend after the state shoot is the state horse show, and this is a Friday through Monday. And again, in order to compete in this, just like state fair, youth need to be our top placing individuals at our county horse show, and then they go and they get the opportunity to show at the state level against other youth their same age. Then the weekend after that, which is typically the third weekend in September, is the State Dog Show, and this is a Saturday-Sunday event for youth who have placed exceptionally well at the county level and received a blue ribbon or higher in their specific classes. I'd like to take just a little bit of time to talk about club activities, and this is important because a majority of most 4-H members' time is spent at the club level. As part of that, every month your club will be holding a meeting where you will have the opportunity to learn about things that are happening in your club and get to know other members there. In addition to those club meetings, there may be additional opportunities for service learning projects, such as things like roadside cleanup or helping at different community events that are happening. And then also, as part of the club meeting, there's typically going to be some recreation, which may or may not be outside of that regular club meeting time. I'd like to really briefly just talk about the structure of a club meeting. So there are typically 3 parts to a club meeting. The first is the business meeting, and during this time you would have club activities, programs, and events which are discussed and acted upon. This is where you're going to decide what you want to do as a club. And then in addition to this, there's usually an educational portion of your meeting, and this is very important because it offers the opportunity for youth and other adults that are part of your club or outside of your club to give 4-H demonstrations, project talks, to speak about something, or to complete project experiences. Just do different activities that will help you learn a little bit about 4-H projects and the world around you. The final component of a club meeting is recreation, and this is a really important piece because it allows youth to interact with each other through songs, games, skits, or any other activity that they just get the opportunity to know each other well and to connect in a way that is different than within the club's structured meeting time. We're going to talk very briefly about the types of 4-H projects. I think it's important to preface this with the fact that there are a ton of 4-H project areas within our program, and that no matter what your interest is, there is a way for you to be able to explore that through 4-H project work. You can find a project selection guide that includes a complete listing of our 4-H projects on the Minnesota 4-H webpage, which you can see referenced in this slide. If you find and click on projects and resources, you will be able to select any project area that is of interest to you, and there you will find resources that will help you learn about the project, as well as a judge's evaluation sheet that will show you specifically how you should be judged at the county fair, and just provide resources on that webpage as well for you to be able to explore further project learning. It's also important for you to realize that there may be project workshops held throughout the year that your family can use to explore different project areas within our program. There are a ton of different 4-H events and activities that your family can consider participating in. Don't want to spend a ton of time here highlighting them, but you can see that we have a number of county activities and events. It's important to note that there is a document that accompanies this presentation that will give you a very short overview of what each of these events at the county, regional, state, and national level are, so that you can learn more about them. At the state level, there are a number of youth leadership camps and opportunities, so it's important to note that, as well as state events that youth can participate in that are beyond the county or regional level. And the same is true for national events, just a lot of leadership opportunities. So I encourage you to review that document and learn more about these activities, as well as explore and participate in any and all of them that your family is interested in. It's important to note that if you are participating in a regional, state, or national level event or activity, we do have County Federation scholarship dollars that will help pay for a portion of your registration fees. That is typically roughly 50% of the cost that it would be for you out of pocket. So just note that. And please also know that we do not want any event to be cost prohibitive. So if you have additional need for scholarship support, please make sure to reach out so that we can discuss how we can make it a possibility for you to go regardless of financial situation. It's important to highlight that you can be successful in our 4-H program. I'd like you to think about that as an a la carte menu experience. There are no restrictions on what you have to order and no restrictions on what you can and cannot participate in within our 4-H program. It is your opportunity to pick and choose what is right for your family, and you can determine the level of participation. That means that you can be a little involved or super involved, depending upon what your family is looking to gain from our 4-H program. The more you put into our program, the more you get out of it. And I would say that's also important to recognize and realize as you are participating in your 4-H experience. Additionally, each family member can experience 4-H in their own way, so regardless of all of the interest areas and ages of the youth in your family, 4-H has a place for all of them, and I would encourage you to check out how each and every one of them can be involved in our program and gain the experiences that you are desiring out of it. We are very excited to have you as a part of our 4-H family here in McLeod County. If you have questions or need assistance at any point in time, please contact me. My name is Darcy Cole, and I am your 4-H Extension Educator. You can see my contact information there on the screen. Remember that we are all here to help you, and we want to see you be successful in our 4-H program. So if you have questions, ask any and all questions that you may have. We never want you to feel overwhelmed or feel like you don't know where to go or you're confused on things. So utilize the resources that are available to you and ask when you need help. And welcome to our 4-H family, and I hope that it is a wonderful experience for you.